Thank you, Kay. And just for those that don't know, this is my first outing in a couple of months, and so I'm glad to be back here and operating as the mayor again. I'd like to good afternoon to all, and welcome to a momentous occasion for the town of Duck. This is probably, beyond beach nourishment, probably the second biggest project we've undertaken as a town, and very, very successful, as you can see behind me. Today we celebrate the Living Shoreline Resiliency Project. The project is a testament to our community's foresight, collaboration, and unwavering commitment to protecting and we cherish most our stunning coastline and vibrant life it sustains. As you know, for years, a section of NC 12, our vital north-south artery, has been vulnerable to flooding from both heavy rains and sound overwash. This not only threatens safe travel and emergency response, but also highlighted the challenges we face from storms events. The Living Shoreline Resiliency Project addressed these concerns head-on by raising the elevation of the roadway and restoring some of the coastal wetlands using native plants and natural materials. We ensured a safer and more reliable passage for residents, visitors, and emergency vehicles. This project would not have been possible without the dedication of countless individuals, many of whom are here with us today. I want to express my sincere gratitude to our dedicated town council, both current and past. And for those that are here, I'd just like to introduce the town council, Mayor Pro Tem Monica Thibodeau, Councilmember Sandy Whitman, Councilmember Kevin Gladard, and Councilmember Brent Chasen. The engineers and construction crews who worked tirelessly on the project to fruition. And many of them are here today, and I'm sure Sandy will probably recognize them. Our state, federal, and private partners who provided crucial funding and expertise. If you look at this sign next to me, you'll see many of the funding sources we had, and we'd really appreciate and could not have done this project without their support. And most importantly, each and every one of you, the residents of Duck. Your unwavering support and commitment to a sustained future for our community is truly what makes this project a success. The Living Shoreline Resiliency Project is more than just a construction project. It's a symbol of our community's resilience. It demonstrates our commitment to finding innovative solutions to the challenges we face, and it paves the way for a more sustainable future for Duck. As we cut this ribbon later, we not only celebrate the completion of a project, but the beginning of a new chapter for Duck. A chapter where we will, in harmony with our environment, ensuring a vibrant and resilient future for generations past. It's nice we have a breeze today. I could do that, but you really don't want to hear me anymore. So at this point in time, what I'd like to do now is turn it over to our project manager, the senior planner, Sandy Cross. Sandy?
Where's that hair clip? We need it. Thank you, Mayor Kingston. Before I go any further, I'm going to take the advice of my town manager and apologize up front in case I miss anybody. This was a very complex project with a lot of parts and pieces that came together to create something truly resilient. I was very fortunate and blessed to be given the opportunity to work on what we call the boots on the ground. No pun intended, I do wear boots all the time. Following the great work of town management, Drew Havens and Joe Hurd, and our engineering consultants, VHB, completed in... Messing me up, Jim? Following the work that Joe Hurd and Drew Havens and our engineering consultants, VHB, completed in advance of the start of this project. Our funding partners, the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation, Dare County Tourism Board, Dare County Conservation Soil and Water, North Carolina Department of Emergency Management, and FEMA were all an integral part of this project. Their staff communication and constant support helped us get to the starting line. We had a lot of other players in our court pushing this project to the start as well. In particular, I want to thank the host of representatives from North Carolina Department of Public Safety and Emergency Management, including Kane Riggin, Steve McGugan, Stephen Jackson, Fred Lewis, and Jeff Welker. As a member of FEMA's Region 4 Advisory Council and our very own Dare County Emergency Manager, Drew Pearson was frequently checking in and advocating for the town with FEMA, emphasizing the need for expediency. Our town manager maintained constant communication with Trey Lewis of Senator Tillis's office and Leslie Ginsky from Congressman Murphy's office. So to all of our funding partners and our advocates, we are truly grateful. We would be remiss if we did not thank the Division of Coastal Management, although I don't think anyone from there is here, and their coordination with the Army Corps of Engineers and U.S. Fish and Wildlife, as well as NCDOT and any other state and federal agencies that reviewed our project and worked to get our permits issued so work could commence. There were many property owners, many are here right now, business owners, and communities that worked with the town providing temporary and permanent easements, without which this project could not have been completed. Tom Stewart at Resort Realty, this property that we currently are standing on, Duck Ridge Shores, and Sea Colony communities were instrumental in keeping this project on schedule by allowing material and equipment staging for the project. Thanks to Jim Braithwaite and Matt Price for allowing parking at the waterfront shops while paving and driveway replacements occurred. And to our construction partners, VHB. They wore many hats as our engineer, designer, consultant, and construction administrator. They helped us get to the starting line, over the line, and to the finish. Sorry, I don't want to have what happened to Don happen to me. Fred Smith Company, our contractor. Wow is the first thing that comes to my mind. We have to give them a huge pat on the back. Our projects are always constrained by the continually expanding vacation season here on the Outer Banks and in Duck. As I already mentioned, this was a complex project, and Fred Smith finished this project efficiently and ahead of schedule. Work began on October 18th, 2023, and was substantially completed 148 construction days later on May 20th, 2024, which was this past Monday. For those of you trying to do the math, that's a little less than 5 months. Impressive work for such a complex project. Their staff was professional and maintained constant communication with the town and VHB. Yes, there were many early morning text messages and weekend messages. They were a pleasure to work with and completed a quality product that we are all proud of. Fred Smith also brought to the table a strong supporting cast with marine contractor Millstone Marine, Garner Concrete, Environmental Landscape Specialist, Emerald Forest, Tree and Landscape Services by Almar Landscaping, and Tree Service, Geotechnical Engineering by Terracon, and Surveying by Marty Barnett with Build Survey. Lastly, while I may be the one speaking here, this project was a success due to the efforts of our entire town staff. Our police department assisted with traffic maintenance and sidewalk closures. The fire department and building maintenance helped establish and maintain our time-lapse cameras, which we have of the entire project. Finance processed payments. Our public information office ensured that project status was current and available to the public. Our community development, our town manager filled in when I could not be available on very short notice. And our community development department kept things moving back at the office while my attentions were focused here. This was truly a team effort. I often say it takes a village, and then my volunteers that are here for beach planning will recall that. And there is no truer statement as evidenced by this project and this community that supports the vision of resiliency and trusted the town council and staff to make this project a reality. In conclusion, you may think this project is complete, and it is. However, there is still more work to be done as we monitor this project over the course of the next 5 years, as far as the Living Shoreline goes, and we report back to our state agencies. And then we share this blueprint for success with others seeking resiliency in their communities. Together, we can ensure a stronger, more resilient future for generations to come. I believe Ricky Wyatt with VHB has a few words to say as well.
So mine won't blow away. Thank you, Sandy, Don, and Drew, and other members of the Town Council. It's a pleasure to be here today representing VHB and have the opportunity to speak for a few minutes. Sandy knows I can go long, so a few minutes. Many of us along the East Coast, especially in Virginia and North Carolina, are familiar with Outer Banks of North Carolina. For my family and I, it's a cherished tradition to spend a week or sometimes more, if my wife gets her way, down here, either in Duck or in the southern beaches. This is something we cherish every year and look forward to. My connection here to Duck dates back to a young child going to Berry Island. I remember playing in the father-son pickup games at Berry Island as a kid. And then years later, my wife and I celebrated our engagement right behind us at Sunset Grill. So the opportunity to come back to the town of Duck and work on this project was very rewarding. This project is a long time in the making. Going back 4 or 5 years, we were working on the sidewalk projects, the pedestrian improvement projects, and we experienced multiple days of flooding. One of those text messages or pictures we would get of rocks out in the road and 12 to 18 inches of water across NC 12. And I remember coming to town council and saying, well, all we need to do is raise this 800 feet of road right here up 3 feet and we won't have this problem. So they said, well, how much would that cost? And so we continued on with the sidewalk and as it was, and said, well, we'll look for funding down the road. As I mentioned, long time, it is a 1,500 foot of road, and as Fred Smith will mention, it is probably one of the more complicated 1,500 feet of road to work on. One of the things that's maybe a little disappointing at the end is people won't realize what it looked like. Well, they'll forget how much lower it was. When you look at it behind me, it doesn't look like we raised the road 3 feet. So that was one of the great accomplishments we feel at VHB has turned out the way we wanted. If you look close at the retaining wall behind me, there's one section that's still present from the previous project. And that kind of shows how much the grade was raised. So I was happy that that kind of stayed. You'll just see the very top of that wall there. But this was not merely a one and done solution for the protection, but rather a layered approach designed to adapt and thrive in facing the ongoing climate challenges. We knew when approaching this project, we had to develop a holistic and integrated approach to resiliency, where each infrastructure component reinforces the other to create an adaptable corridor capable of withstanding the uncertainty of the changing climate. For the town of Duck, we incorporated 3 concepts. As mentioned earlier, it's the nature-based living shoreline with the vertical sill, the protection of the marsh behind, but also the stone revetment. Obviously, the elevated road was the second component, raising it over 3 feet in some locations. And the third component was the drainage improvements. Underground detention systems, similar as previous projects in Duck, serve to collect some of the stormwater before it gets into the roadway. As Don mentioned earlier, this project demonstrates the town's continued commitment to being innovative and a resilient community. VHB has been fortunate to work with the town since its inception, and this commitment from the town has been present since the beginning. From preserving the green space at the town park, rainwater harvesting at town hall, promoting multimodal transportation through the village, and the regional stormwater strategies that the town has implemented at Tuckahoe and some of the other areas around, all show the examples, the commitment the town has made to resiliency. VHB is honored to have served as a trusted advisor to the town over the last 2 decades. And as Sandy mentioned, we aren't done yet. This project will serve as a shining example for Duck in the surrounding region by fostering a more sustainable and vibrant community for generations to come. And I will turn it over to Timmy, who, as Sandy mentioned, with Fred Smith, it was a pleasure. We have worked down here on multiple projects with multiple contractors, and we can say this has been the easiest one, and so we really appreciate that.
Good afternoon, and on behalf of Fred Smith Company, I just want to take this opportunity to thank the town of Duck for allowing Fred Smith Company to be a big part of your project. The North Carolina 12 Living Shoreline Resiliency Project, it has been a privilege and an honor to contribute to the development and improvements of this beautiful town. With that being said, as a token of our appreciation, we at Fred Smith Company are delighted to deliver to the town of Duck an evergreen magnolia tree. This tree symbolizes everlasting connections, commitment to the community, and hopes for the continued partnership in the future. The evergreen magnolia is a part of Fred Smith Company's logo, and it is a replacement of our representation of our core values. It stands for strength, adaptability, and a deep-rooted connection to the environment. Principles that align with the spirit of Duck. We hope this tree will grow and flourish as a living testament to our shared goals and cooperative spirit. Our team is committed to providing high-quality service, and we take pride in making our customers happy. We at Fred Smith thank the town of Duck for entrusting our team to bring this project to reality and making it a successful journey. For the past several months, we hope that we can be a part of this town's beautification in the future and look forward to working with your town's great leaders. Thank you.
Okay.
As promised, we have the scissors. We have the scissors. So we are going to, if everybody doesn't mind, we're going to go over here to the driveway entrance and actually cut the ribbon. So thank you so much for coming. And again, we are having a reception at Town Hall immediately following this with light refreshments. So come mingle, come meet your representatives and hang out and learn more about the project. So thank you for coming.
We're going to want some counsel. Come ahead. He combed his hair and everything.
All right. Jim.
Sorry.
This side. Where the camera?
Is this a good way, or do you want to have that?
I thought you had to not.
Yeah.